Hello my fellow crafters and welcome back to Inspiration for Cards. My name is David and today I'm going to be making a card. But not just any card. I'm going to be playing with some new stamps, a new brand actually for me, new on the channel. I've made one card once when I just bought them and I've been eyeballing these stamps for a while. And then I was on a craft fair and I just couldn't resist and bought some. Not many, just some. And it's stamps from AAL&Create. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, Tracy, please correct me. If you ever see this video, that is. They're designed by Tracy Evans, lovely lady. She makes lovely tutorials. And today I'm going to be making my first ever card here on my channel using AAL&Create. So let's change the cameras. So what I have here is I've got a piece of hardboard that I've taped my card base on. My card base is cut down to 5 by 7 inches. And I've got a card base, card base. This is the front, that is the base, David. I've got that ready to go. So what I'm going to do is something I haven't done much before. I love playing with inks. I love ink smooshing, but I've never done anything. I think I've done it once using this to do more controlled ink smooshing. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take my ink pad and just squish that onto my acetate, or this is one of these bags that you can store your dyes in. Spray that with water so that it's really runny. And then I'm going to pick that up. Come on, you can do it. I'm going to just tap that on. Like so. Now I'm going to use a color combination that I've actually seen people use a lot. Orange and pink together, which I love, but I've never got around to doing it. So today is the day. I'm doing it. Now I just want to wet this slightly more. And then in a perfect world, you would let this dry naturally. But I don't have that time. But I'm going to give it some time because I'm going to ask you, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please help me out and do so, because that would really make my day. And give this video a thumbs up if you want to. That will help this algorithm from YouTube help other people find me. So thank you for that. All the products that I'm using are listed below in the description box. So if you're looking for something that I'm using here today, you can find it there. The paper that I'm using is from Paint On, mixed media, and it's the smooth version. You've also got a textured version, but this is the smooth one. So that's what I'm using today. Now I'm going to let this do its thing a bit. I'm going to get a piece of paper and just clean up the side a bit. And I'm going to take my heat tool and dry this. Now the color is quite intense at the moment, but this is a very soft orange, and I know this will dry back quite soft. So I'm just dabbing some of the puddles off because I'm going to build on this a bit more, have a bit more layers on there. So it doesn't really have to be completely dry. Next I'm going to take Kitsch Flamingo and put that on there. And again, spray this with water and just randomly put some color on the paper. Love Kitsch Flamingo, and I love this combination. Look at that. Love that. I'm going to let that sit again for a second. There's a lot of moisture in this paper now, so just dabbing off some of the excess moisture. So I'm going to do one more round. I want this. This is what I love about the oxides. You can layer. It's already a pretty background, but I just want a tiny bit more. So I'm just going to put, not too much, some ink on here. I'm just going to scribble it around with my fingers and turn it around. I don't mind that it's dripping on there. Just want some more splatter on there. There we go. And dry again. Okay, now this is all beautifully dried, so let me show you how pretty this is. Now, I like that it seeped through a bit, so I don't have these stark, hard lines. Now look at the depth you get from layering these colors. Pretty, right? Love it. Right, now we get on to the, well, not the fun bit, because this was already fun, but I'm gonna stamp my stamps on here. So what I have is this beauty here. It's this stamp set, and I'm going to be using this big one here, I think. Yeah, because that's the longest one, and I want the length on this paper. I'm going to put this on my acrylic block, and I'm going to take my ink, first fine black I'm using, and I'm going to ink up my stamp. I don't know how this is called in English. In Dutch I know it's a sneeuwklokje. Try saying that if you're English. Sneeuwklokje. Probably snowdrop, because that's what the stamp says next to it. Oh, it's snowdrop, snowflake. Oh well, we'll see. We'll see what it is. And I'm going to put this right here. Press it on there. I'm just going to give it some time to let this ink sink in. Many times, and I've said this many videos before, many times I think that we are too quick with pulling off our stamps. Now I'm really giving it some time to sink in, especially because there's a lot of moisture in this paper. There we go, and now I'm gonna take it off. Beautiful stamp. You see? Love it. What I'm gonna do next is immediately I'm gonna take another piece of this paper, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stamp it again. I'm going to stamp that right on here as well. And I'm going to fussy cut this out later on. So I want to let this dry for a moment, making sure the ink is dry and I don't smudge it with my thick fingers. I don't want my paw prints all over that. So let me just press that down. And there we go. That's ready to be cut out. So the stamp can be cleaned and put away. Now, while I've stamped this and this can dry, I'm also going to stamp out this part of the stamp. This is one big stamp, but I'm just going to use this one. So I'm going to stamp that out as well. That can dry so that we can cut that out later as well. That's going to be my sentiment. I'm just going to put that on the block. There we go. Beautiful. This can dry, and now it's back to this one. Now also in this stamp set, there's this corner stamp. So I'm going to take that. Put that on my block. And ink that up in black as well. Again, giving it some time to really sink in. Beautiful. Okay, next what I want to do is I want to take this stamp, which is a text stamp, and I'm going to ink that up using my gray because I think black is too harsh. I'm going to ink that up in Versifying Clear Morning Mist, which is a beautiful gray. And then I'm gonna stamp it off first. And then I'm gonna use that right on the card. Perfect. Not too harsh. Just want a very light impression of that text. Again, ink it off. And put that there. I'm going to repeat that on this side. Just gonna put that there. Like that. Just one more. Very lightly in there. So that's that. Done. Now let me think, because what else am I going to do? Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut this out. And I will edit this out because you don't want to see me fussy cut all around this, do you? I can't imagine you want to see that. So I will just start and then I will edit the footage out. I love this little Elizabeth Craft Designs scissors. It's very small, but very sharp. It's perfect to cut out these little detailed things. It's one of my go-to things. Now, I'm not a big fussy cutter, to be honest, but I'm getting more patient. Funny, isn't it, what crafting does with you? Because in the past, I could not do this. I wasn't patient enough. And for some reason, crafting, if you're new to my channel, I only started paper crafting in September 2021. Yeah, we're 22 now. So that's not that long ago. And in the beginning, when I was fussy cutting, it drove me mad, and I stopped and threw the scissors through the room. And now I can do it. Okay, I did it. It's cut out. Now, luckily, the second part is not going to be that hard to cut out, so I will quickly do that. I'm just going to trim this off, just cutting it on the black edge. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take an orange watercolor pencil. This is from Caran d'Ache, the super color. And I'm just lightly going to give some color to this sneeuwklokje. And I'm not sure there are any orange sneeuwklokjes, but I don't care. Creative freedom, right? I'm just gonna give that a light wash of color. And this pencil is so intense. There we go. Love that. Cool. Now this is going to be right on top of this. So I like that. I'm just debating in my head now, do I want some light touch of green on there? I think I want to. Just to tiny bit more realistic. So I'm just gonna give it a hint of green right there. And I'm coloring the wrong one. Do you see it? Not that that matters. Go. Just take some water on my water brush and pull that green up. We just have a wash of color on there. There we go. Done skis. So I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to put little dots of glue behind this. Because I do want this to be adhered quite well. There we go. Then I'll take my little tweezers and start attaching this at the bottom. I'm just gluing it right over the other, like that. Yeah, I like that. Next, I'm going to take my sentiment. I'm going to put that right here, I think. I just want to put some foam tape behind that. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Like that. Then I've got some washi tape here that I really like. I do want to ground this flower a bit. What I'm going to do, if I can get it to go, I'm going to rip this in two. I'm just going to pop this right under here. Then I'm going to put right here. Just tucking that under that sentiment. Then I want this part to be right here under the flower, coming to the edge. I think that's enough. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black watercolor pencil and I'm going to color around this sentiment to give it some extra dimension. Then I'm going to take my water brush and just color that in. And this will create a really nice drop shadow. You can see that right there. I'll do the same right here under that washi. It's really coming together. Now I also want some shadow here around my flower. And here. This is a nice watercolor pencil for this. I don't have any water in there because I want to be in control of how much water to use. So I'm dipping it in the water on my hand and then I'm going to do the shadow because I just don't like it if I don't have the control over how much water comes out of that brush. There we go. That's that side done. There we go. I think I'm going to leave it as is. I think this is really nice. It's clear. So I'm gonna put this on my card right after I've grunched up the edge a bit, because the edge for me is too wide. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some frayed burlap and I'm just coming in ever so slightly, just going around the edge. Yes, I like that. I don't like that stark white edge. And I want it to stand out from my white background. I don't want to do a matte layer behind this one. Normally I always, with almost every card I make, I put a black matte layer behind it. But in this case I don't want to, because I think this card stands out on its own. But I think this will help to really focus on the card and not on that white edge. So, if that makes any sense to you. I like that, but I am still gonna go one step further. I'm gonna take my black soot, load up my foam, and I'm just gonna give it that little black soot edge. Yeah, that really makes it pop. I like that. Now, last but not least, I think this needs a little splattering. Got a nice black sparkle here. I'm going to put some on my acrylic block. Just one spray is enough. Then I'm going to take my fan brush, this one, put that in the water this down, take off the first big splatters that come off, and then I'm just going to tap this. The last thing I want to do is to put on some white splatters. Now I've got some Versa Magic in white here, a re-inker. I'm going to take my fan brush again, dip it in my water, thin this out a bit because it's quite thick. And I'm going to splatter that on here. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to put this on my base card. And that will really make it pop. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to use my ATG gun because this is quite warpy, and I'm just going to put that tape. It's nothing more than a fancy tape runner, but it allows me to come really close to the edge. I have to pick this up to line it up. And here is the finished card. I love this. I really love it. I love how it turned out. I really like these stamps, and you will be seeing more of them. Yeah, as I said, I really like how this card turned out. If you like it too, please give this video a thumbs up and consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. Thank you for watching this one. I love this card. I really love how this one came out. So can you see it like that? There. Yeah, I love it. I'm in awe. This is really nice style. The grungy look, that's really suitable for me. So I love it. Thank you for watching this one, and I would love to see you for the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.